Flosstube, it's Jen, Felicity Stitches, and I am getting back to you finally after a little time away, and I have just returned. I don't know if you can hear this in my voice, but I've just returned from the Midwest cross-stitch retreat in lovely and exotic Chaska, Minnesota, and it was fantastic. I have quite a bit to share with you, so sit back, grab your favorite beverage, grab your stitching, and let's hang out for a little bit, okay? First thing I want to start out by saying is that the retreat was fantastic, and I want to thank Michelle, Farm Girl, for everything that she did to put this retreat on, because it was an incredible amount of work, and she was just an awesome hostess for all of us and worked tirelessly to make sure that things ran smoothly and that we were all comfortable and well fed. I am currently trying to hydrate myself into shape today, and I can't say enough good things about it. I can't say enough good things about the people that I met. And the retreat center was fantastic. The food was beyond good. And I'm just so happy and grateful that I got to be a part of it, because it really was very special. So the first thing I want to start out with is talking about whips, my whips. So my first whip, I haven't really worked on a whole lot of stuff. Actually, I've worked on quite a bit of stuff. I just couldn't share it because it was a lot of secret stitching for the retreat. So I actually had 3 finishes. The first was a little pin keep pillow that I borrowed the design from Blackbird Designs, and it just had like 5 little quilt stars on it. And I picked out, my roommate for the retreat was our very own Night Owl Stitcher, Yvonne, and I wanted to make her something a little bit special just to commemorate our time together, and because it's nice to get little small things from the people that we care about. So I made her this little pillow. I will insert a picture here. And I just picked out her favorite colors that she had mentioned to me were the colors that she was kind of into right now. And I actually borrowed them from the Summer House Stitchworks Fragments in Time color palette. I just used those colors and stitched the stars, and so that's what I did. So that was that. The other finish that I had was a little gift that I had made for Michelle to thank her for everything that she had done at the retreat, and just, you know, to let her know that she's special and I love her. So I'll insert that here. This is it's one of the first designs in, I don't know, I'll have to look it up, one of the Blackbird Designs books, and it's called Honeycomb Basket. It's meant to be put in a little white wire basket, but I had found this similar shaped box, and so I painted that, and then after I stitched up the piece, and then I made a little sort of pillow top for the box, and so that was for Michelle. And then my final finish was from Blackbird's Designs Give Thanks. I was on a Blackbird Designs kick, which you will see a similar theme here in a little bit. Give Thanks was the name of the pattern, and it was for the Smalls Exchange. I'll insert a picture here. And this was a sort of flat top pin cushion that I placed in I've got the tag here, a candle holder that I had purchased from the Hobby Lobby. Oh, I don't have the sticker here. And it's like a 12 or 13 inch high candle holder, and it has that sort of farmhouse look to it. And when I saw it, I loved it. And then I realized, oh, the top looks like those little pie tins that everybody's putting little smalls in. I could do that. So that's what I tried to do. And the woman who got my small was Carol, and she was so sweet. She was so excited when she realized that the bag was for me. And then when she opened it up, she hadn't pulled it out yet, but she gasped, I wish I had taped it, because it would be so nice to have that memory preserved, because honestly, it was the best feeling I had all weekend. She opened it and she squealed a little bit because she was so excited. And then when she pulled it out, everybody sort of went, ooh, ah, kind of thing, like when you're watching fireworks. And it was just really the nicest reward for me for having made that. It just made it worth it, because I really wanted to make something special. And I was so happy that she liked it, because that's really what you want. I mean, you want to make the small, and you want somebody to be thrilled that they got your small. So I feel like she was, and that made me really happy. So those were my 3 finishes. And then that had caused me to put one of my big whips on hold. So I'll show you that. I'm almost done. I think I'm going to finish it maybe today. I don't know. I'm going to work on it a little bit today. But this is a project that I'm working on for my shop. This is Homespun Elegance Alphabet Pillow. And when you do it, it's supposed to be on like a 32 or a 36 count fabric, and it ends up being about 6 inches by 6 inches. But Janine, my shop owner at the Crafty U in Broadview Heights, wanted to have sort of a statement piece, so we decided to do it larger. So this is done on, I want to say it's like a 20 count Weeks Dye Works tin roof, and I'm almost done. I have to finish the I should have my board here, the blue ends to these flowers. See, here's 1, 2 done. I have to finish the rest of that here, and then I have to do the entire branch here, and then it will be done. We have buttons picked out. I think we picked out a beautiful blue wool backing fabric. So Janine, thank you so much for being patient, and I promise that we will have a finish on this thing this week. That's my goal. And then my other whip, which was, so, you know, I was going to do a packing video, and then I just didn't have time. But I can insert a picture, maybe, if I can think about it, of what my bed looked like. I just kept adding stuff to my bed. Oh, I think I'm going to bring this. I think I'm going to bring that. Till it was basically covered with stuff. I did great in the clothes packing category. I didn't pack too much. I only took 1 pair of shoes, and we did go to the farm to see the goats. I kind of wish I'd have packed an extra pair of shoes for that, but other than that, I'm really pleased with the clothes I brought. I was perfectly comfortable wearing a t-shirt and a sweater. It wasn't too hot or too cold there, except sometimes in the room it got really hot, but other than that, I was very, very comfortable. And stitching wise, I brought way too much, because we went to Stitchville, USA. Yvonne and I went basically straight from the gate. We arrived at the airport at the same time, picked up her rental car, and headed to Stitchville. Got some got some lunch, because we needed our sustenance to do our shopping. And unbelievable shop. Unbelievable. Very similar, actually, very similar to how my home shop is laid out. The way they labeled everything was very similar. The way they organized everything was very similar. But the shop itself is probably 2 times bigger, if not 3 times bigger than my shop. And they just carried more of everything. More threads, more fabrics, more Mill Hill kits, more Brenda Gervais, more Blackbird designs till I got there. More, they had needlepoint stuff. They had needlepoint, they had the frames that you need to tack your needlepoint onto there. They had punch needle up the wazoo. They had Valdani threads, which I actually got a message from Janine that we just got some Valdani threads in, so I might need to do that today. I wasn't thinking about it, but I might have to go up to the shop today. So yeah, so they just had a great selection of anything you might think you want. So whatever you can imagine you're into or that you would need, like Q-snaps, Q-snap covers, needle minders, oh, I got the coolest thing. Well, I'll show you that in a minute. Let's not get sidetracked here. Whips. So I packed like 5 whips. I stitched a little bit on my pillow that I just showed you. And then I had bought this at Stitchville, and this was all I stitched on the whole weekend. And my major enabler for this was Carol, Saltbox Stitcher. Love you. And she showed this in her last video. This is Feast of Friendship by Blackbird Designs. Look at that. The house is what got me. I mean, that bowl of fruit is no slouch either, but the house is amazing. So I picked out, I had never used R&R linen before, so I picked out, I started, I mean, that house is perfect. It's perfect retreat stitching, really, because you can just get, super far along and you don't have to really think very hard. So here's my house. This is done 1/2 on 35 count. 18th Century Rook is the name of the color. And I'm using all the called for threads, except I wanted my house to be really blue, and 2 of the colors, the dye lots that I had to choose from were really gray looking, so I just kept them very blue. But that's my, you can see, this is all done in hand using the sewing method, which I found out that Carol and I, the Saltbox Stitcher, we do the sewing method exactly the same, so I feel validated in in my stitching technique, which is awesome. So that was, I mean, and honestly, that's a lot of progress. The very first day, Thursday, I put in 7 stitches on the plane, and I think another 20 stitches once I got to the retreat. And of those 20 stitches, I think I ripped out half of them because I put them in the wrong way. I was just, my ADD kicked in really hard, and I could not focus. I was all over the place. I was talking to all the people and seeing all of their projects. And here's the called for threads for that project. I mean, look how rich and beautiful those are. Mostly Gentle Arts with some classic colorworks in the mix. Just gorgeous. If that doesn't look like fall, if you don't want to stitch fall stitching when you see that, I have to wonder what's going on with you. So my plan is to stitch on that today and just sort of relax, reboot, and figure out who I am again. Let's see. Okay, so Stitchville was amazing, and I'm going to show you my haul. So the first bit of haul from there was that pattern, fabric, and threads. And then I got, sorry for the crinkling, but not really, I got thread drops, and they came with a little metal circle, but I just wanted to try them out. They came with a little metal circle, but I used the metal circle to put my fancy floss for my thing. So 30 pieces plus a ring. Just in case you were wondering, is it worth it to make my own? 30 pieces plus a ring at Stitchville was $7, and these are, I thought they were plastic, but they're not. They are made from, excuse me, from heavy duty cardstock. I mean, they're definitely, you could bend them, and if, you know, I thought they were plastic, sort of like when you buy plastic bobbins to bobbinate, but they aren't. They're just the heavy cardstock. So I think that it's totally okay to make your own. Like, I don't think we're missing out, is what I'm saying. So that was that. And then this is all pretty stuff. Oh, I got a Q-snap, an 8-inch Q-snap cover. I had bought an 8-inch Q-snap because I thought, first of all, I brought projects on 11-inch Q-snaps. I think I brought two projects that were already on 11-inch Q-snaps that I never stitched on, by the way. And then I bought the Q-snap cover. I don't know. I mean, I feel like at one point I was just shoving stuff into my bag because I just really didn't know what to take, and I really wasn't feeling any of my projects. So I wanted to give myself an option to have things to stitch in case the spirit moved me, and what ended up happening is I was moved to kit something up and start fresh. I bought, because I had never stitched on R&R fabric and I'd heard such good things, I wanted to give it a try. So I bought that piece of 18th century rook, which at the retreat there were 2 or 3 other people who had the same fabric and it looked totally different. So it just goes to show how dye lots can change. I mean, they were dramatically different. Carol, Saltbox Stitcher, hers was really, really different. Like, one side of it had been sort of antiqued, where it looked brown and it had like creases and all kinds of stuff. And then the back of it looked just like my fabric. And then there was another stitcher who had it, and hers looked really, really green. It was wild. This is Stars Hollow, and it's a 40 count Stars Hollow. And then this is 40 count R&R Winter Brew. So you can see they're similar, but this one is more of like a natural or a raw or like an oatmeal, and this one is more of a solid khaki. And then the one that I picked for my project was more of like a darker, mushroomy, taupey, greeny color, if that makes any sense. Okay, so what did I buy? I bought Patchwork Pumpkin by Blackbird Designs. Love this one. Sorry for the glare. It's really cute. It's got like little bittersweet all over it. I bought, this was from the, excuse me, this was half off in the sale bin. Tavern Signs from Carriage House Samplings, which I had never seen. But look, that says sampler maker on it. I have to have that, right? And I'll put my name on it. Love it. What else? Oh, this was also in the half off bin. And this is Stitching Pocket Plus by Homespun Elegance. I love their designs. And I don't know if I'll make a stitching pocket, but I loved, what got me were the bird scissors. Because we all have a pair of those, right? Stork scissors. Love them. And then I bought a couple of punch needle kits. But I didn't buy, ooh, this is a kit. This came with the punch needle fabric. Oh, that's fantastic. I didn't realize that. So this is Nestlings by Brenda Gervais. I love the color. It's so soft and sweet. But they didn't have all of the Valdanis that I wanted, so I was mentally all over the place. So I just said, you know what, I'll get them later. But it comes with the special cloth that you need. I can't remember the name of what that cloth is called. But it's sort of like a, I don't want to say it's a self-healing cloth, but the thing that's great about it is if you were to pull some of your work out and then sort of like scratch the fabric, the holes sort of close up. And then the other one that I got, oh, this one came with the fabric too. That is awesome. So, oh, she's got everything. You can buy it online. I didn't know that. Here's the other one that I got. Nicole, you're going to probably need this. It's a cardinal. It's called Merry Mistletoe Punch Needle 281. Look how pretty that is. I love it. So, gonna have to do that, and it also came with fabric. So there's 2 of those that I'm gonna have to do sometime soon. Okay, so here's my other haul. Is it all? It is, it's all Blackbird Designs. So, first one, Agnes Platt's Strawberry Sampler. So pretty. This was can you see that? There. That was the original. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And I love, you know, they include an introduction, talk about it, and all that kind of stuff. Next one I got was Sisters by Blackbird Designs. So these were 2 trying to see like where I can show you. Here's an original sampler. The colors, I mean, so gorgeous. Here's another one. So this design here is in there. At First Cock's Crow is what it's called. And then this one is called Peace and Plenty. Beautiful. Witch No More. Like, I want to do them all. I want to stitch them all right now. Then I got Pink Hill Manor because I want some pink houses so I can be just like Michelle the Striped Rose. So I've got that. And then, oh, this is Away We Ride. That's my son, if you can hear him. It's so beautiful, and somebody had stitched this and brought it to the show and tell table, and they had put these beautiful like glitzy pins here and added some buttons and like charms and stuff, and it was fantastic. I don't know who it was that stitched that, but if you're watching this, it was gorgeous. And then I have, you know, I have the Eleanor Rigby pattern, so, and I also have Yellow Submarine that I plan to stitch for my son. So I got this Long and Winding Road. And Strawberry Fields Forever. Really pretty. And then door prize, they called our name and we got to have a door prize, and I was fortunate enough to get Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day, which I've always loved. Not a fan of the Adam and Eve, but I do like the sampler, and the red house is gorgeous. I'm just not an Adam and Eve person. Maybe that'll change. You know, I've said stuff like that about alphabets before, and look at me now. But I love this so much. I think that is so pretty. And so now I have that. I'm going to stitch it. So that was a door prize. That was my haul. And I think that's all my haul. And then I had, Michelle had been kind enough to pick up something for me when she went to Needlework Galleria. I had asked her to pick this up for me because I'm crazy. So this goes into haul as well. This is Rosewood Manor, Karen Kluba, 101 alphabets. Yes, you're right. It says 101 alphabets. And it is crazy pants. So, one of my stitch loves and I, well, all three of us were going to stitch this. I don't know if we're still going to stitch it. I think one of us is definitely planning to stitch it, and the other of us are sort of thinking, what did we say we were going to do? Like, what did we sign up for? I vacillate between, yeah, I'm totally going to do this, and you know, I think I'm just going to keep this as a reference for alphabets. So, we'll see how that goes. I mean, it might be fun to just kind of have it and pull it out every now and then and just put an alphabet in. It's not insanely difficult. I'm sure it was hard to design, but it's just alphabets. Do you know what I mean? And some definitely Karen Kluba-esque motifs. pretty motifs. I'll have to study it. I don't know. I'll get back to you on that. What else? Oh, this was our gift, like our pack that was sort of put together for us by Kitten Stitcher. She was our resident designer, and she gave us this really beautiful, look, I have her signature, her autograph. This really beautiful pinky. This is exclusive to Midwest Cross Stitch Retreat. It will never be sold in stores. It will never be distributed. It just went to the attendees. And that's the top of the pin cushion. So pretty. And it was done on this really pretty, substantial candle holder from Hobby Lobby, and then she had finished it with, I think it's considered bittersweet or berries of some kind. And then she made this really cute little pocket, and it's all just beautiful. And then all of the supplies are in here, including a little needle, and I love it. Thank you so much, Teresa. This is wonderful. Shakespeare Peddler, exclusive kit by Shakespeare Peddler for the Midwest Stitchers Retreat, October 2018. Pale pumpkins, pincushion stand, and scissor fob. So cute. And then we got some other freebies, and I don't know if they were all the same or not in everyone's kit, but Lou Who Stitches Little Fall Fling, so cute. Definitely going to stitch that up. And then this is Raise the Roof, and I think everybody got something different here. This is Spooky Fence. Oh, that's a little mummy. Really cute. This is Twin Peak Primitives Halloween Truck. Cute. Look at a little ghost sitting on that moon. And then this is Black Sheep. I don't know how to pronounce this. It looks French, so I'm going to say Redu, but maybe it's Redux. I don't know. Redu, I think. 1 book, 8 designs. And they're all super cute. Little fall one. All seasonal stuff, right? Really nice. And this is from You and I and Friends. What's the name of that? And then on the freebie table, and also available, were some fabrics for finishing the backs of things. So I got this one with the little red stars, and then they're just like little quilt fabrics, but so nice. So we did the smalls exchange, and I got really lucky, and my small was by Darlene Baumgartner, and this is what I got here. Look at this. Is that the cutest thing? And she did it where this little pillow, she put little buttons here, and the cording actually will come off. You can undo the cording from the button. So if you want to stick it in your dough bowl, you can do that. And if you want to hang it from something, you can do that too. So she did some cute, so she hang on a second, I'm attaching to my buttons. The seam is right here, and she sewed the seam, and then she put this pretty sort of decorative stitch on the back of it. Isn't that fabric perfect? to hide the seam. I love it. The colors are gorgeous. I just love it. Thank you, Darlene. I feel very fortunate that this got to be mine. I'm going to put it in my special. There you go. It's there. It's ready to go. Okay. What else did we get here? So much to talk about. Okay, so we did a Smalls retreat, which I just showed you, and then we did a Stitchy gift retreat. So it was, you put together things to create a Stitchy gift for someone. And this was the gift bag, and that's what caught my eye, and so I picked it because, hello, look at that. It was Teresa's Stitchy gift. It was Kitten Stitcher's Stitchy gift. I was floored. I was so excited. So this is the bag. It's got a nice gusset in it, so it's nice and thick. Really heavy duty handles. And I haven't checked, but I'd be willing to bet a lot of this is for sale in her shop. So I got this really cool pack of autumn finishing assortments from Lady Dot Creates. Velvets and little trims, and so pretty. And a bunch of, I mean, I kept the twine stuff was wrapped in because Kitten Stitcher. Whisper threads. And this beautiful pattern, Shepherd Sampler. This is a Brenda Gervais pattern, and Teresa told me that she thought the whisper thread would be good to stitch the little sheep in. The little sheeples. So I will do that. I will keep that whisper thread right with that pattern so that when the time comes, I am ready to stitch it. And then there was some really cool little treats from Jen's Stitching Niche. Some threads and a cute little button. Limited edition threads. Hey Chickie. Buff Oprington, Rhode Island Red, and Barnevelder, which is a gray brown. And then candy, because candy. Thank you, Jen. So nice. Oh, that might have been from the bag. The rest of the kit that I don't remember. It's all such a blur. This really cool needle minder. This is from the group, like the Midwest gift bag. This is from Far Away Designs. And I don't know if you can see that, but this needle minder looks just like this picture. It's beautiful. It's a dragon with like a fairy on the top of it. Can you see that? Really pretty. And then, yes, another needle minder. That looks just like the design that Teresa did. And this was made for us by Candy Stitches. Candy, I love you. And this is such a cute little needle minder, and it's wood with those earth magnets. And then wrapped in this really cool paper with this really cool twine, because everything is really cool, was beautiful out of print Blackbird Designs fabrics. Love them. I mean, everything was like beautiful. Gorgeous Victoria Motto sampler threads, which I have never owned before. And I have to tell you, the feel of them is amazing. There's a substantial amount. It feels like I have a hank. Like what I imagine a hank would feel like. And it's not a hank, but even so. Gorgeous colors too. This beautiful pair of really pretty pair of scissors. Another little needle minder, so cute. Little wisps of cat hairs. Aw, a little note from Kitten Stitcher on this cool, it's like a library card. Oh, from Magnolia. Ooh. Fun. Save that. And then some beautiful linens. She told me where these were from, and I don't remember. A beautiful piece of linen. Look at that. Gorgeous. And then these fun little bags. A little rusty pin. You would expect no less. And then, of course, some sweet treats. So that was my gift, my stitchy gift from Teresa, the Kitten Stitcher. I was fortunate enough to pick it, and it was a highlight. It was one of the highlights for me. I love it. I love the crinkling everything makes. I love the bag. I love it all. It was fantabulous. I think that's it. Oh, then I have to show you this. So then they had a raffle, right, to raise money for a charity that is very close to Teresa's heart. It's a animal shelter. And so we did a raffle, and the options to choose from were amazing, but I thought this was so cool, and I put I think Susie Reno donated these. Hi, Susie! Susie Reno in a bottle! And so I was so excited that I won them. They're like little swatches. They're like little 1-yard swatches of Weeks Dye Works colors. And I know that dye lots change, right? But I could always check the dye lots against what I have and change them out if I need to. But if you just needed like a little bit of something, you could pull from these. There's 3 of them. Whoop. Sorry. You could pull from these, but also if you wanted to convert, this is similar in concept to that giant DMC book that we all use to do conversions. And I would pay serious money to Weeks or Classic Colorworks or Gentle Arts if they wanted to create something like this, and I know dye lots change, I don't care. If they wanted to put something like this out where I could get a sample of every single color to just keep for my own personal reference, I would pay for it. I would totally pay for it. So just throwing that out there, guys. If you guys want to make something like this, that would be awesome. Love it. So that was my raffle prize. I love it. And I got to help make a difference in the shelter. What else do I have to show? I still have more to show you. I mean, it just keeps going on and on and on. Here's my Q-snap. You don't really need to see this, but here's my 8-inch Q-snap that I got from Stitchville. Freebie table. It was good, y'all. The freebie table was impressive. Look at that, sparkly. Pull stitches, hand-dyed fabric, English rose, 32 count opalescent. That is true to color. If I don't use it, I'm sure my daughter will use it. Anything to draw her in and make her want to stitch. Here is Threads of Gold Spanish sampler. Beautiful. Somebody had stitched this on the finish table and brought it in, and then I saw it on the, I wonder if it's the same person. This is Be Mine from Lila's Studio. It's so cute. It's super pretty stitched up. So really excited about that. The Tudor Rose sampler from The Nostalgic Needle. This is a very thick set of instructions. And there's some white work drawn thread stuff here. That's going to be gorgeous. And then, basically, I went off the rails. I think Marlene is the one who donated these, and I let them sit there for about an hour, and then I jumped on them. So here we go. I've got quilting books because I need another hobby. Around the Block with Judy Hopkins. And I will, if you guys are interested in like doing like a flip through of these, I'd be happy to do that. Just let me know. I'm not going to do it today. Around the Block again. More rotary cut blocks. I mean, unbelievable amount of information. Machine Quilting Made Easy. Free Motion Quilting Made Easy. I know, right? Can you believe this? Fast and Fun Machine Quilting. And what you see here, Linda Jo brought us pre-ready done bags that she had cut out. You know, she makes these little bags that are for orts. They fold up. They're like little paper bags. They're decorative paper bags. They fold up totally flat. You put them in with your stitching and you can stick your orts in them and fold them up. They don't take up any room. And they are genius. And so I didn't put mine together because I wanted to save it so that I could continue to make my own, because I have a ton of this scrapbook paper with nothing to use it for. And so look at that. So I have a template. So that's what's in here. This is the Fast and Fun Machine Quilting. Did I show that to you? I'm pretty sure I did. And then Marsha McCloskey's Quick Classic Quilts. 4 patches to feather stars. I mean, y'all have seen behind Marlene in her little craft room, all those quilts and stuff. I'm pretty sure if these were her books, A, they got some lovin', and B, I'm already an amazing quilter. I haven't even started just because I have Marlene's books, I'm pretty sure. And then this one, which is probably far beyond the scope of my skill level, as my skill level is like a -4 at this point. But if I ever want to get there, Paper Piecing Perfect Points, 13 Fabulous Quilt Patterns by Debbie Cradaville. I'll have it just in case. So thank you to everyone who brought things for the freebie table. I know that I appreciate being able to benefit from your generosity. And there was lots of good stuff. I saw lots of people walking away with lots of great stuff. Now, the last little bit is what I'm all into, and I'd like to, you know, I wish I could sing like Kitten Stitcher can sing, because her little jingles are so catchy. But I can't. Here's what I'm all into this week. I'm a base this weekend because of my boys. Oh, this was a gift too. It's a little needle minder. Okay, so what am I all into? I'm into my friend Sandy. Hi, Sandy. Gave me this metal board, enameled over, and then you just clip your pattern to it. You don't clip it, but you can magnet your pattern to the back of it, and even put your needle minder on here, because like I'm working in hand lately, so a needle minder just weighs down my fabric. I can't have that, but I can stick my needle to this and it's just fine. Hold your pattern real nice up so you don't have to keep looking down, because that's bad for your neck, right? So thank you, Sandy, so much for this. It's one of the things that I'm all into this week. And then the last thing that I have to show you is my friend Terry that I stitch with on Tuesdays. There's like a stitch club of these longtime friends, and they have invited me to come and join them sometimes on Tuesdays. And she had this. She was using it, and I was like, "Oh, that's really genius." And she said, "Oh yeah, it's fantastic. You have to get one. It's so helpful." And I was like, "Oh, I'm going to take this to the retreat with me." And I wound up showing it to Minty Stitcher, and she loved it so much I just gave her the one I had. And I had also given one to Michelle because I thought she would like it, but it's heavy. This is filled with ferret sand. And I call it ferret sand because the bag of sand that I bought at the pet store had a ferret on it. But it's just sand. It's very heavy, and I did get stopped in TSA. They did look at it. They did sort of like test it. I thought they were testing it for bomb materials, and Mindy was like, yeah, they probably wanted to make sure it wasn't Coke, which is hilarious. But yeah, no, it's just ferret sand. And what you do is you lay your, I'm trying to think if I have a, hang on just a second. Okay, so you have a project in a hoop, right? And you, don't fall. Okay, see that? You have a project in a hoop, and this is your table, and you're sitting right here in front of the table, right? And you want to stitch two-handed, but you are going to the Midwest Cross Stitch Retreat by plane, and you can't take this heavy Lowry stand with you. So you take your stitching, and you set it here, and then you take your frame weight, and you set it there, and then it holds your stitching out over the lip of the table so that you can stitch two-handed, boop, 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 right here, without, I mean, all you had to do was carry this extra, it's like 3 or 4 pounds weight. So that's awesome, and it was very, very easy to make. It wasn't difficult at all. It's like 3 inches wide by 12 inches long, super simple. Yes, Gerald, I promise I'm still going to make you one, and I will send it to you, and you just fill it up with sand, okay, babe? So that's that. And then the last thing that we got, I keep saying the last thing, it's not the last thing. Because there's fun stuff in here. So remember I told you I made a pin pillow for Yvonne for being my roommate? Well, Yvonne made me a pin pillow too. Look at this. Her stitches Yvonne, your stitches are perfect. And then it's got this little, the back fabric is beautiful. This little detail is so cool that she uses her, is it a cuddle bug, Yvonne? It's like a die cutter. And then, so she finished this with, she took this fabric and tore it in strips, right? But then look how she finished it. Can you see that? She stitched it on, but she added little blingy beads all the way around. It's really, really beautifully done. And then it's super firm. And she told me her secrets. And I'm going to give it a try and see if I can get mine to be awesome like hers. This is the most magnificent pin pillow in the history of all pin pillows. And she created it by putting a few of the different motifs together from a Blackbird Designs. It's all about Blackbird Designs, people. I don't know if you know this or not. If you're not stitching Blackbird Designs, you might want to get on that. It's perfect. It goes in my pin pillow box. And then I got this amazing. Do you hear that? Oh, yeah. Oh. This is a LaHaye's shaker box in pumpkin. Beautifully handcrafted. Why is everything blue right now? I don't know why everything turned blue all of a sudden. That's really strange. Can I change the lighting back? It's like the lighting changed. That's weird. I'm really sorry. I don't know why that happened. You can see on the inside of it, LaHaye's. It's so cool. Oh, the lighting fixed. It's so weird. So yeah, that's my pumpkin shaker box that I adore, and I got that for going to the Midwest Cross Stitch Retreat. The other option, and honestly I would have been happy with either, I didn't know it was an option until I'd already picked my shaker box, were these baskets from 1803 Ohio Farm Baskets, and you can find her on Instagram as 1803 Ohio Farm Baskets, and her baskets are handmade and they're incredible. And then I got this gift from my friend Michelle. Little tiny frame. Over 1. It's from a Blackbird Designs. I mean, honest people, I can't make this up. And I love it so much. It is so special, and it is, this piece was given to me before I got anything else, and it's the first thing that anybody has ever stitched for me with me in mind, just special, just to stitch it for me, just because they knew I would love it. And then I got Yvonne's pillow, and that was also stitched for me, just for me. And I just can't tell you. And I had to make the video now because honestly, I'm exhausted. This weekend was so much fun. And we've talked about introvert, extrovert. I'm an extroverted introvert, or yeah, an extroverted introvert. I'm an ambivert, so I'm both extroverted and introverted, and I was able to stay, for the most part, extroverted this weekend to make the most of it. But now I want to like crawl up into a ball and hide under my covers for a month or two before I can come out again in April. So that was my experience, and I have to tell you, the people I met this weekend, some people I had known, you know, through Flosstube, but not known, and then some people I knew of through Flosstube, but I didn't really know them or watch them. Every single person, from the person who doesn't make any videos and just likes to stitch, to the person who makes lots of videos and is like amazing Flosstuber, and just every single person was so nice, and we all spoke the same language. We were all so happy to be there stitching and talking about stitching. I just love it. I love retreats. I love the chance to commune with other stitchers. It's really nice to get to meet people who are sort of Flosstube famous, like Kitten Stitcher, and I love that. But I loved just meeting her because she's a designer, and I think she's kind of genius, and it's special to be able to take a weekend and take time to spend with those people. And I don't even know what I'm trying to say. It's just really special. It's special to be able to do that. And I missed my family like crazy. But I wouldn't have changed a thing. Like, I would not have given up the opportunity to hang out and stitch with Cheryl and McKenna and Michelle and Yvonne and Gerald and Mindy and, oh my gosh, Colette and Darlene and Carol and Marlene and Lisa and Susie Reno in a bottle and Linda Jo and Steph and Pam and Marcy and Tara. I mean, and Jennifer. I mean, there were 17 Lisas, 17 Jennifers. Who else was there? There was another group of people. And Michelle. I mean, if you were there, if you attended the retreat, I'm so glad that I got to meet you and spend time with you and breathe the same air as you. Just know that, please, because it was wonderful. And I'm definitely coming back. For sure. If she'll have me, I'm coming. So that's it. I'm still coming down from my high, but I wanted to share, and I figured now would be a really great time to sort of reset and do over and start fresh and keep going, basically. All those things. All right. Well, until next time, I hope that everything that you stitch with your hands shows your heart, and that you have a great fall. And we're going into the holiday season, so make sure you take time for self-care, please. Make sure you take time for yourself. It can be very draining, it can be very hectic, and it's important that we take time for us, slow down a little bit, even if it's just a couple of minutes a night. Whatever it is that you need to do, you do it. And I just love you guys. That's all. I'll talk to you later. Bye.